The fourth wall.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Dirt Sheet Radio post-Raw Rewind for April the 8th, 2024. I am Tyler, the Pro Wrestling Hipster, at Pro Wrestling Hipster across the board, the Pro Wrestling Hipster on Facebook. It's the night after WrestleMania. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves. Let's hop right into tonight's main event and break down tonight's show.
Hey guys, it's Mac, Curbside Hero on Instagram, Twitter. You find me Mac. You'll find me. I'm on Facebook somewhere. What's going on, guys?
And as always, guys, I'm hanging out here with Tyler, and now tonight with Mac too. Actually, I'm on social media as well. I go by @NoobTube. On all of them are way too many to name, so I'm not going to name them all because we're going to spend time discussing Raw after Mania. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we are in the thick of a new era, new season, almost, if you will. WrestleMania is always kind of that big restart button for a lot of the feuds and stories and angles going forward. And tonight in our main event, we had a fatal four-way to determine the number one contender for Damian Priest's World Championship. And that fatal four-way saw Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, Big Bronson Reed, and Ricochet facing off. Jey Uso picking up the win here in just about 17 minutes to become the new number one contender, the first number one contender for Damian Priest. Did they state when that match is actually going to take place? It's not next week, correct?
I don't think they said.
No, next week we get Sami Zayn and Gable for the IC title, but I didn't think they stated that. But the guys, what'd you think of tonight's main event?
I thought it was. Sorry, you want to go?
Go ahead. You go first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I thought it was great. I thought it was well paced. I liked how the beginning of the match they didn't do that trope of having two guys outside the ring and two guys in the ring, or throwing one guy outside the ring and then going at it. They had all four guys, two squaring off in the corner, going at it, and then I thought it flowed pretty smoothly. I thought that there wasn't any dull spots during the match, and I wasn't really surprised by Jay winning. I don't think Bronson's at that level yet. He's almost there. I don't, Ricochet, they've been pushing for the past couple weeks, especially with that win over Ivar and stuff, and the crowd really getting behind him. But I knew it was going to be Jay. They don't typically do heel versus heel main event matches, even if it's going to be the semi-main. They don't usually do that. So it had to be Jay, and even though he's probably going to lose, I don't think it's going to hurt him very much because it propels him back up to the status that he was with Roman when he was on SmackDown.
Absolutely. I mean, and too, in loss, I'm sure he'll have some protection from whatever shenanigans the Judgment Day are up to during that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I do agree with Mac actually on this one. The flow was seamless. It was just this guy, these two, these three. It was awesome. There was, again, like Mac said, there wasn't any dull points. It was just this to this to this to this. And then what happened to Drew? That's the moment we got to talk about, because that was
CM Punk, no arm brace.
It was
So
BS.
I don't think it was BS. I just think it was, as we kind of talked about last night on the post show last night. I think it was more of a situation of,
meme.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll say this.
When you're having a good day in depression, just grabs you.
When the caffeine kicks in, when the caffeine's like no sleep for you, bro.
That CM Punk, I think, is very clearly having a good time right now.
I hope so.
I think he's having fun. I think he had a blast all weekend long, because I feel like it's pretty much just like, hey, just go out there and kind of say whatever you want to say. I feel like he and Drew must have some sort of gentleman's agreement to just go out there and kind of rip each other apart and have a good time doing it.
There
and
has
you can
to be.
tell, over the last few weeks especially, there have been a couple times where they're throwing barbs back and forth at one another. You can tell they're trying to stop one another in their tracks verbally. And I'm here for it. It's a good time. I mean, Drew's doing, I think, the best mic work of his career right now. And you're always going to get something entertaining out of Punk when he opens his mouth. So this feud's going to be a lot of fun going forward. It's already been a lot of fun. You think they can hold that long? That's a bit of a ways away here.
Would it be Backlash? No, is that too soon?
No, it's too soon. That's May 4th. Yeah. The
one thing I like about May the 4th.
Yeah. The one thing I like about the Drew and Punk situation is that right after Punk got hurt, he was gone for a couple weeks, 3-4 weeks. And Drew was, not only was he talking shit on Raw, but he was online, going to bakeries, sitting playing Cry Me a River by Justin Timberlake in his weight room.
It's a good song.
Yeah, and stuff like that. And Punk really never responded, maybe a couple of like story posts on his Instagram, like calling out Drew. But now this is the chickens coming home to roost. Punk is back. It doesn't look like he's hurt anymore. So now everything that Drew is reaping he's going to sow in person.
Money in the Bank?
For
That's
Drew?
a little farther away.
Oh, for the match?
Yeah. SummerSlam's too far. Backlash is too soon.
Yeah. Maybe, I think they could get like 3 matches out of this, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of talking those two do. Damn.
Oh my God, yeah. Honestly, it's good that you have Drew and you have CM Punk, 2 guys who arguably are the best talkers and the best workers, because I don't think anybody's going to complain if you have 6 weeks of Drew and Punk just cutting promos on each other. Nobody's going to complain.
Actually, yeah.
Oh, they're not fighting. Oh, so what? They're calling each other assholes. And
did he just say that?
Well, there's something too, kind of the older school booking mentality of when you have a big angle, a big feud like that, you keep them physically apart in the ring. You don't let them fight. And that used to kind of be the norm. It's like, think about going back, like, this is a really wildly old example, but like WrestleMania 6, Hogan and Warrior didn't, wrestle 5 times leading up to that match. Like,
didn't they only touch in the Rumble?
Mm-hmm. That was it. Like,
remember the trope of enemies tag teaming together, forced to work together? Remember that?
Yes.
But you know what? They did that for a while, and then they kind of ran its course. They had like Cena with Otunga, Cena with Miz, Cena with
everyone.
Dude, Cena with everyone.
Cena with the janitor, the popcorn guy. Like,
but you guys remember when they had Triple H and Stone Cold, and they were in their blood feud, and they couldn't touch each other, and Stone Cold stunned Stephanie, and Triple H ran out, and Stone Cold was face to face with them, and Triple H couldn't touch him because he was being threatened with suspension for 6 months. Like, just the rage in his face. I was like, I wasn't a big fan of Triple H back then, but that angle, man, I wish they would do something like that with Drew and Punk, where like, Punk is taunting his wife, or Drew just crosses the line and like one of them run out and they get in each other's face, but they can't touch because where they're going to be suspended for 6 months or a year, man, I just wish they would do that again. I loved that Stone Cold and Triple H storyline.
That was
fun, and just that the levels of intensity that involving one's spouse can bring. As it's definitely been something that's been done before. And Triple H did that. I mean, his feud with Orton years ago. You know, that was him running out and just like shaking with more anger than I've seen Triple H shake when he first attacked Stephanie that time. And again, though, that was one of the more disappointing endings for a feud. Is that the ending of that kind of fucking blew? But
we got AJ and Samoa Joe with the Wendy.
Yeah, run it back.
Dude, we got a Wendy sighting a couple of weeks ago during the LA Knight and AJ feud on the lawn.
With Alex Riley. God, I haven't thought about Alex Riley in a long time. Thanks for that.
Oh God,
Jesus!
Now I got that "Say It to My Face" theme in my fucking head.
Say it to my face. Quit. Say it to my face. Jesus. You know, I've only ever been to one NXT show in my life, and it was they did one in Columbus. It was God, this was tied to the Arnold. I think it was the first like NXT show that they'd done kind of above the Mason-Dixon that wasn't tied to like, you know, WrestleMania weekend. And that was one of the matches. It's when Kevin Owens was NXT champion. It was him and Alex Riley. I'm like, of all the fucking matches, that night was also the origin of the 10 more years of the solid, the ironclad contract that the Big Show had at that time.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. So, people were all pissed off that he had that contract. Yeah.
And that was the "Please Retire" chant started there. That was a good time. But anyway, but I mean, it's Alex Riley. That's my Alex Riley memory. But that, gentlemen, anything else on tonight's main event?
Can't wait to see the match.
Yeah, I mean, just it made me want to see Drew and Bronson Reed in a singles match.
Oh, that'd be sweet.
You know, when they were chanting meat at them when they were face to face, they hit each other with those forearms that really looked like they were connecting, because it looked like the second one that Bronson threw, it literally looked like it almost turned McIntyre's lights out. Like I was like, oh shit, when I was watching it, you know. So I mean, anything that keeps Jonah / Bronson Reed on my TV, I'm all for. Like I said, I don't think he's on that level yet, but he's in a definitely in an Intercontinental title type level with like a random match with Sami Zayn on a Raw or something, you know.
Honestly, if they do it properly, Drew and damn it, I'm screwed up, but Bronson Reed would be something interesting. Like you said, that was, I didn't expect to see that happen, and all of a sudden they started going, and I was like, all right, let's watch this.
Yep.
To quote Tyler, mate plot it.
Just chanting meat over. Are we sure the audience was chanting for that, or are they just a bunch of Sean Stasiak fans?
Oh God.
Yes.
Deep cuts tonight, y'all. Alex Riley and Sean Stasiak both mentioned in 2024.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but we'll hop around here to the open of tonight's show. We had the game. Paul Triple H Levesque open the show and make his way to the ring to open the first Raw of the Levesquian era of professional wrestling, as it was dubbed last night here on the Dirt Sheet Radio Rewind.
Yeah, 100 times. Thanks, Tyler.
I was celebrating last night.
Like, here's the thing. Like, you know how when VKM used to be in Michael Cole's ear and he'd be shouting like the same line 9,000 times in a 3-hour podcast?
It's plus time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be like that, Levesquian era. Anyway. But no, there's no ambiguity. Again, like we talked about this a lot over the weekend, they have really pushed this narrative heavily that we are in a new era, a new time frame. Thank you, the Levesquian era. We're here. We're here. But Hunter brings Cody out. You know, Cody getting to soak up the moment. They had prepared a special video package for Cody, which they had mentioned they don't have the normal size Tron due to
the bootleg.
Having to fit more people in. Fantastic video package. I mean,
I know
production values have been off the charts lately anyway, but
we got a 7-inch TV at ringside, but we can't get the big screen.
They called it the WWE Championship, and then they called it the Universal Championship, and then they called it the WWE Championship, and then they called it the Universal Championship, and I'm fucking confused. I just want to get rid of that stupid word. Is it that hard? Are we stuck with it?
Well, Triple H and Michael Cole both called it the WWE Undisputed Championship, and then Cody said WWE Universe or the Universal WWE Championship, and I was
His
like, all right,
graphic
which one
says
is
it too. His
Yeah.
graphic says it, but when he asked Samantha Irving to announce him, she also called him the undisputed WWE champion. So
Yeah,
I thought it's gone, and maybe Cody had a slip of the tongue.
yeah.
But
I'm saying slip of the tongue.
it may not mean much to most, but it means a lot to me. Michael
Just
Walters,
John's
great
a
Raw, but
belt.
no new superstars outside WWE or NXT.
Where are they supposed to come from?
Tama Tonga is one that people were really excited for.
I mean,
I
honestly,
guess,
did you really want to see Matt fucking Hardy? Because I did.
yes, they did. They don't know what they
Wow.
asked for, but I say
Motor City Machine Guns.
enjoy
Motor City
it.
Machine Guns.
Yes!
Yeah,
That would have been cool to see.
that would have been cool.
What do they do?
Fuck.
This? Or whatever the hell they do?
No, it's this.
I don't know.
It's Michigan.
Respect.
Yeah, Michigan. Yeah.
Michigan.
One more person
Alex
say Michigan.
Listen,
Michigan.
listen,
There you go.
listen. I usually don't like seeing guys that wrestled in the early independents and Ring of Honor like show up in WWE because I think they're going to be used shittily to
Or buried.
or buried. But Alex Shelley's been my guy. I mean, I used to go to Ring of Honor shows in 2006, and he'd be jerking the curtain with Jimmy Jacobs.
Fuck yeah.
I saw them wrestle on a 3-night span I went to a show in New York, Chicago, and Philadelphia. They opened the show the same fucking match all 3 nights. And it was a dark. It wasn't even on the DVD. They announced it as like a dark match. And they wrestled the same exact moves, same exact high spots, same exact finishes. And I was like, who the fuck is this Alex Shelley guy? And then he went, and he's been my guy. But I feel like with degeneration parents running WWE now, that they would treat Shelley and Sabin like they should be treated. Honestly, I don't, and
Only
that's
time
not
will
to say
tell.
that's not to say I wouldn't want to see them go to AEW because I think that'd be awesome too. But I think with the way that they wrestle and their style and their presentation would be better suited in NXT.
I could see it.
Yeah. Sorry to go off on
I
a
mean,
tangent, but
well,
I
that's,
love
that's
Shelley.
fine. I mean, I would say like that wouldn't be a terrible landing spot for them either, just because of the amount of experience they have. It'd be a good ear to bend for the younger talent down there too.
I mean, look at
Can
the
you
guys
imagine?
on SmackDown right now. You got the New Catch Republic. You got Pretty Deadly. You got
Ooh.
DIY. Like, I mean, come on, all those guys up against Motor City Machine Guns. You know, I mean, even Austin Theory and Grayson Waller. You know, I mean, shit. Those are. Then I wouldn't say they're dream matches, but they're the matches I'd really like.
Pretty good matches though.
Yeah,
I'd say New Catch versus MC would be pretty bitchin'.
Oh my god, that'd be nuts. Like Tyler Bate would just be
All you
bouncing his neck all over the ropes and everything.
All you hear for like 10 minutes is
Slap,
Yeah.
slap.
Yeah.
But
worth it though.
we'll hop back into the program here. Eventually, of course, The Rock, inevitably, some representative of the Bloodline was going to come out. We had The Rock make his way to the ring, and he was, of course, carrying with him his WWE Participation Championship belt.
That entrance though.
Like, here's the
looks
thing.
cool.
Like when he got it, I'm like, okay, he's got his little vanity title that he, had commissioned himself and then just had like kind of pinged through another human being to make it look like it wasn't his idea to get that damn thing.
Yeah. And this to me at the Hall of Fame.
But he's treating it like it's I'm sorry to rant about this, but he's treating it like it's an actual fucking belt that he, a
TW
championship
belts.
that he earned and won. No, the FTW actually has a fucking lineage to it.
Yeah, it's true. I know
There
true
have
for
been
you.
multiple champions. People
It's
have
the bad
fought for
motherfucker
it,
title in UFC.
right? Like, okay, it's just bad. I hate it. Like, it's just dumb.
Tyler's
I'm mincing hairs here. I haven't been able to bitch about Ivar enough lately, I guess. But like,
He almost won the Battle Royale.
you know what?
Yeah,
I think I might say that title is a worse gimmick than the Viking Raiders. Just
Oh,
They had
And
memes
he says
online the
that a
other day
lot.
that said when your little brother wants to come with you and your mother gives him a belt to make him feel good.
here's the
right?
controller. Like
yeah,
your
yeah.
meme you posted.
Controller's not plugged in.
Yeah.
Like, it's dumb.
We're
I
having
hate it.
fun.
It's just like, it's one of those things where it's just like, The Rock knew, and he's like, well, I want a belt, but I know that if I Bigfoot my way into actually getting the championship again, people are really going to shit all over
I am the
me.
boss.
I learned that. So that's my rant about his stupid bejeweled.
That was the whole episode.
Yeah. But yeah, so The Rock came out.
The Rock came out and talked for 35 minutes while Cody stood there with no microphone and said nothing back.
That reaction.
Yeah.
He's
Really?
judging me for my last comment.
He's like, I'm canceling
The first
you.
hour presented commercial free tonight, and virtually the entire hour was.
You know what? I gotta admit, as much as I do not like Dwayne, and I've never liked Dwayne, and I talked about this last night on the WrestleMania recap show, that belt looks pretty fucking good on him.
I'm just glad it's on a black
it
strap.
matches the aesthetic. And Mac, I think it's just me and you that have never been big Rock guys.
Yeah, it
You know
sounds
what,
like
man?
it.
You know what? When The Rock came out in like '97, and he was the heel right after the crowd turned on him, and he started calling people Rudy Poo and shit like that. I'm like, all right, that's funny. And then you get to 2000, and it's like, oh, you're still using the same catchphrases that you used in September of 1997, and here we are in January of 2000. Yeah, and now you're in. But I mean, now he's saying fuck, but it just seems so like forced. It's like you can naturally progressively step up your game, but he went from, oh, I'm the Rock from 1999 to, oh, I'm just gonna say fuck and sprinkle in Mike, and it's like, no, dude, you're not fooling anybody.
No, it's there's been no growth or change for his character in 30 years, and that's something I've pointed out, and very few people. I've got some shit for saying that. Like,
oh, dude, I get shit all the time.
And tonight's promo was one of the things that I'm sure you remember this chant. This was like a heavy ROH chant back in the day. They used to throw it at the world's greatest tag team. But like tonight, The Rock's promo made me think one thing: same old shit.
Yeah.
Same old shit.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what it is. It's the same promo. He's been cutting the same. And I'm not saying it's a terrible promo. People said, like, oh, Ric Flair wrestled the same match for 30 years. Yeah, it was a good goddamn match. But no, he hasn't changed anything. Like, I'm not like a huge Jericho guy at this point. But like, Jericho has augmented and changed his character multiple times in his career, and it's kept him much more relevant. The Rock disappears for years on end and comes back as the exact same dude he was always. Yeah. And then, and I think the automatic praise that he's always gotten for that is starting to go away, because you've got a generation of fans that have heard who The Rock is.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that he was this guy. They've seen the Tooth Fairy. But they don't view him as the massive deal that the majority of our generation viewed him as.
Well, let me tell you where Jericho. So when he was, Y2J, Chris Jericho coming in '99 and the greatest debut, I still say
that was still a sweet debut.
I'm a lifelong Jericho mark. I know he's overstayed his welcome in AEW, and he needs to go away for like a year and a half and then come back now. But when he came out in '99, man, like that shit fucked me up. I was like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing ever. And he was consistently that person for like up until like 2005. Then he leaves and he comes back, and then he comes back as this Save Us Y2J character.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm willing to give this a chance. Then it went absolutely nowhere after the Orton feud, because he just immediately lost the title match to him. And then the crowd starts turning on him, and he dresses in the suit, and that's where Jericho completely reinvented himself, calling the fans sycophants, and completely doing the Bob Backlund thing from like 1994, where he came back and beat Brett. And that's where he rejuvenated his career, because if he had stayed on that trajectory, even though he kind of tweaked the character with the Save Us Y2J, if he had stayed on that, his career probably would have been over in 2012, I would say. And instead, by reinventing himself with that character in like 07 or 08, whenever it was, he's propelled himself to 2024, and he took that same formula by making the Painmaker, and make fun of him if you want to with the makeup and everything. He reinvented himself with the Painmaker, and now he's doing the Lionheart Chris Jericho thing again and coming out to his ECW theme. And like I said, say what you want about how he looks. He's slower, and he's sucking younger wrestlers into his vortex. The guy knows the formula.
Tyler mentioned something a little while ago, and I wanted to get back to it before you moved on. About the younger generation not seeing The Rock as big a deal as we do. have to disagree. I think that it's a different kind of a big deal for them because they know him from the movies. It's weird seeing a movie star involved in this kind of thing and doing it so well, but because they don't realize that he just is a fucking wrestler. But
First,
I realize a lot of them are just thinking like it's really cool to see Hobbs in a wrestling ring.
The Tooth Fairy.
Fast and Furious. You know what I mean?
Moana.
Because they don't know the Tooth Fairy. They genuinely don't know the Tooth Fairy. My son has never seen the
Game
fucking
plan.
Tooth Fairy.
Game plan.
They know
Scorpion
Fast
King?
and Furious. They
The
know
Rundown?
Rampage. They know that
Mummy?
he's an action
Jumanji.
star that's built like a
San
mountain.
Oh, there we go.
Jumanji, Jungle Cruise.
Yeah,
You know
Jungle.
what I mean?
Jungle. What, was he in
Think-
Battleship? Was he in Battleship?
He was in
Baywatch.
Baywatch. He did Baywatch.
Baywatch.
The
Yep.
movie or the
He came out and he basically set the stage for him versus Cody. And I
when I come
thought-
back.
I thought it implied that he's going away and taking all his cool storytelling techniques with him. Like, I leave you with this Easter egg, and now I must go. Like,
Yeah.
fuck.
Back into the
Keep me in
back into the water.
the way.
What was the name of that Simpsons dog where it goes, I have to go back to my planet?
He
Oh.
died. He died on his way back to his home planet.
What was all that? Let me touch yours, you touch mine shit. What the fuck
Please
was going
see.
on?
Right? Like
When
people
people-
they're about to like start quoting Mickey Avalon lyrics. Like
He was like, The Rock wants to touch it.
let The Rock put his hand on the bottom side of that. What? No.
Brandy's
You
backstage.
cup
Like,
the
what the
Rock.
hell?
The Rock cups you. Like, what the fuck?
Eye contact and everything.
Yeah.
Don't look at me like that, Dwayne.
Oh God. You know, I will say the Rock too, like tonight in that promo, like he felt, I don't know, something felt kind of off for him.
He didn't get to
Like, I don't
talk
know,
for a bit.
he seemed like he was like a half a step slower, maybe. Like maybe the weekend's been long. Like fuck,
He's just
we're all a
fucking
little tired.
tired, dude.
I could
He's tired.
see that.
He was literally in hell. Like he had to fight his way out of hell or wherever the Undertaker takes
That's
people.
true. That's true.
You know? Cut him
That
some
is true.
slack.
Is it the same place where Kane used to drag people under the ring?
I
think
imagine
so.
they're next door
Yeah.
Okay.
to each other.
Yeah, it's all under the ring. Like it's just you gotta watch yourself because it's either you're going through like Taker's portal to hell, or you're gonna fall into like Hornswoggle's Little People universe.
There's actually a whole staircase going down.
It's wild under there.
It's like Harry Potter.
Like no, I loved like they did some dumb shit during that last DX run, and I had fun with most of it. But the Little People's Court thing, where they truly established that there is an entire universe that is under that ring. That needs to be exploited further. That was like the most Chikara thing that WWE ever did.
Yeah.
Wrestling.
And about The Rock too, like, so the one problem I had about The Rock promo, and maybe I'm just nitpicking here, or maybe I'm talking logic, you guys let me know, is that the last time that Cody saw Rock, barring WrestleMania, because they had interactions at WrestleMania in the tag match, he was literally beating the fucking dog shit out of him, taking his blood, putting it on a belt, and saying, I'm going to give this to your mom. And then he's just in the ring with them tonight, like, hey, can I have your belt?
Sup,
Oh,
homie?
that's a cool belt. Can I have your belt? No, only if I can
Listen,
have your
bro.
belt. God.
Yeah,
And
it
I'm like,
was.
no.
Touch it.
It
I'm like,
wasn't
take
the
that-
strongest. Like it wasn't
No.
the strongest promo.
Don't
I'm
touch
like,
my
you're right.
belt.
I'm like, take that belt and put it into his fucking Scorpion King head. Like,
I'll
you
come
know?
back to Hollywood.
Well,
Yeah.
and if one of them was going to strike the other with their belt, it would have to be Cody hitting the Rock because that People's Championship belt looks like if he were to hit somebody with it, it would just like crumple and dent. So
Oh, by the way, somebody pointed out on night 2 of WrestleMania that the Rock's belt has a stamp on the back of it, so it's most likely going to be reproduced.
oh, okay.
Merch shop.
Yeah.
Which
Imagine.
again just kind of reiterates the point that that was absolutely 155% the Rock's idea to have that fucking belt made in the first
Oh,
place.
yeah.
What a
Like
Yeah.
For what it's worth, it is a great heel move. That's
bought it already.
absolutely
Oh yeah,
what
yeah.
a
It's pissing me
final
the fuck
boss
off,
asshole
so, like,
would do for himself. You know what annoys
Oh
me?
no, absolutely.
I'll tell you the one thing that annoys me is that he had reached a peak with his entrance, but he keeps on fucking with it like every single week. This
I
week
know.
he added video game noises to the music.
yeah.
And he added
What
him
is
saying
going
the
on?
final boss.
No, final boss.
It reminded me
Final
of
countdown.
the old NWO, like where they would just be like, but biggest icon in wrestling. Like,
No, you know what it reminded me of
life,
is when he fucked
for
with
life.
his music that night, at that time, and it was like, if you smell, I think it was No Way Out 2000. I want
Three.
to say 3. He was like,
Yeah.
oh, look at the
Yeah,
tongue,
it's
look at
the,
the tongue.
it's the Hulk
I was like,
Hogan,
ugh,
the
gross.
Hulk Hogan
Fuck.
rematch.
Not doing
You
that.
guys mentioned being anti-rock earlier, and I wasn't anti-rock as much as I was just Stone Cold was my guy,
Yeah,
and The Rock was
absolutely.
like
Yep.
the other guy.
Yeah.
But for that, all that being said, now that this 3 months is over, this road to WrestleMania, this chapter of the story's done, I think this is my favorite work of The Rock's entire career.
Fair.
Minus
fair.
that last couple months of his career where he really reached a peak inside the ring, and then he fucking went to Hollywood and then lost it all. But
Yeah.
but yeah, it's like that triple threat match, the Brock Lesnar match. Fuck, imagine Chris Benoit versus The Rock at WrestleMania 20. Fuck me. Anyway, yes. Because we're done with him and we won't be talking about him until the summer. I did want to say that this is the fucking best Rock, and I hope he continues this as his career goes on. But what happened after this?
What happened after this? I
Well,
think
yeah,
it
so-
was the. I
That
think it
one
was the Ilja.
Yeah.
Ilja,
Yeah, Nakamura and Ilja Dragunov. I popped when Dragonov's music
Yeah.
tonight. As you know, the folks that watch us here week in and week out know that I'm one of the guys that also cover NXT. So I get fucking pumped when one of my guys or gals from the developmental brand
Down under.
Yeah, CJ. Fuck yeah,
Hey,
CJ. knows.
CJ.
I messaged him about it. I was like, look who's
We'll
on.
we'll be talking about this tomorrow night too. I'm sure, Siege. But yeah,
He's
real
watching right now.
match. 4 minutes. Dragonov picks up the win here, which is exactly what needed to happen. They need to not do that shit that they used to, where it's like, hey, we're going to bring up a big deal from NXT, and they're going to lose in 3.5 minutes on Raw. Like
They'll win in 4.
Charlotte's first match with Natty on Raw, which I guess people are right. No one remembers that except for me. But Charlotte,
Karrion Kross and Jeff Hardy.
Oh, I remember that.
yeah, that just kind of really set the tone for old Karrion Kross on the main roster, and he's never
Babyface Jeff Hardy using the ropes to beat the NXT champion in 3.5 minutes.
Man, again, like Tyler said, no recovery.
None.
And they absolutely overshadowed that entire match by having Jeff come out to no more words for the first time.
Woo!
Oh
Get
man,
the ice.
Yeah.
Handing out buns here.
But no, you
Yeah,
know what?
but-
I didn't think this was a match that I never thought of this match, and I think it's because WWE has been so hot and cold with Nakamura. But
Mhm.
if somebody sat me down, I don't even think this would be in like my 100 top like matches to like
he was
two
a
guys together. But when Nakamura came out, I was like, all right, who's he fit? Then Ilya hit, and I
Me
was like,
too.
holy shit, this is
Ironically,
a dream match.
It's funny. Ironically, I thought the same thing. I thought, wow, I never thought of this match. It brought immediately back
Thank
down to
God.
reality. It was 4
Yeah.
fucking minutes. It still never happened. I'm like, shit,
Yeah, I
I
know.
forgot. But
These guys
Nakamura's
need 20
old.
minutes. Yeah.
I forgot time happened.
Well, and I think obviously this was just there to give the main roster audience a quick glimpse at Dragonov, and they use this as the opportunity to have him declare his entry into the 2024 draft, which will be taking place at the end of the month.
Which doesn't matter in the least anyway, because guys just go anywhere they want. So
It's interesting though. I think I don't know. I like to imagine Triple H is going to make an effort. I think there are some things about the company that are being some complaints from the Vince McMahon era, the pre-Leveckian era, that are being addressed directly, like head on. Some of the real glaring obvious ones are, and I think the draft and enforcing it is going to be one of those things that they try to really work towards making happen. It really just makes those big 4 pay-per-views feel special when the fucking two brands are finally crossing after not touching each other all year long. Although I don't imagine they're going to go back to brand exclusive pay-per-views. I don't know. For some reason, I remember Triple H being a fan of that, and I don't know where I got this information from. Like, I don't know if I can source this.
I that sounds right in my head. Dude, I agree.
Right?
With that. Like that he was like pro that concept. But John, I agree. I think that Hunter's going to be a lot more diligent with the split, and with Raw going to Netflix and SmackDown going to USA. That's not even like the same family of networks. Fuck, that's not even the same concept. One is a regular cable channel and one is a streaming service. So it's like, I'm wondering if that's going to aid in that complete and utter separation between the rosters.
That actually gave me a pretty funny image in my head of like all the Raw Netflix superstars just being elevated into the clouds. Goodbye.
Peace.
Goodbye, television. We're gone.
Say fucking shit now. Bye, guys.
Just fucking Liv Morgan flashing people on the cloud. Like, what is happening?
Whoa, slow down.
They're free.
Whoa.
They're free.
Don't get my hopes up, John.
Now that being said, not relating to Liv flashing people, but with them,
all I heard.
Moving Netflix, do you think they'll shuffle the champions? Put
I
Cody,
think-
arguably the bigger star with the bigger title, on Netflix, and then move Priest and the World Heavyweight Championship over to SmackDown.
I think that's what they're going to do with this draft. I think
for sure.
Damien's going to SmackDown.
But mostly because I remember The Rock specifically mentioning how he would be a feature on Netflix WWE RAW, and I'm like,
and if
well,
he's feuding with Cody, then
though it could, because we don't know when he's coming back. Because if he comes back in the summer, then the Cody feud will be over with by the time they get to January, and then it might just be the Rock and Roman feud. And at that point, you might need Cody on SmackDown to balance, to keep the balance. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works. But I imagine this draft right here is going to be the one that sets up what the world is going to look like post Netflix and USA, because USA comes in the fall, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I'm pretty sure. And then we do have that like 2.5 month gap where Raw does not actually have a home.
I know.
At this point, I mean, is there just any chance it's like, fuck it, we'll do it on Peacock for a couple months?
I read somewhere that was off the table.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. I'm not sure, and of course things always change. But I had read that was just off the table. I'm interested in seeing how it goes forward, though. I'm also interested in a little something. I don't know what it means, or maybe it's just because of how significant WrestleMania weekend was in the pop culture. I don't like the word zeitgeist. It's got to be a better word for that.
Zeitgeist.
But in the pop culture bubble, but I noticed outlets like Variety plugging like, this is where you can watch WWE Raw even if you don't have cable. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I've never seen that.
I think that's the Rock effect, honestly.
It's got to be.
It's got to be. He's the biggest. Well, not now he isn't, but 2 years ago, maybe even last year.
He's still highest paid.
Yeah,
still highest paid guy. Yep.
Yeah, he's the biggest. When you have the biggest star in Hollywood, news outlets like the New York Post and Variety and Forbes magazine are going to cover that because he's no longer just a silly wrestler. He's a pop culture icon, pop culture legend. So they're going to follow the cash cow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, if that shit keeps getting popular, shows like ours rise. We ride the wave, baby.
Yeah,
I'm down. Let's go. Let's go. Rock effect.
And another thing too, if they have the if Damian Priest ends up moving over to SmackDown with the World Heavyweight Championship, and they move Cody Rhodes over to Raw, are they going to have the symmetry with the women's belt that looks like the World Heavyweight Championship going to SmackDown, and Bayley going to Raw to keep the title symmetry together?
Well, if you remember, the reason why they removed the fucking stupid brand labels is because they want the freedom to not have to do those dumbass swaps that they were
Yeah.
doing for a couple years. I didn't
Yeah,
know
I remember
almost causing
that.
a shoot
I'm
fight.
just wondering if there's
national
any backstage
television.
official
Change.
that has OCD. You know.
For sure.
Imagine.
But I'm trying to find these fucking Judgment Day pictures. This goofy ass.
But speaking,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
speaking
true.
of which, we had
Truth
the
after
Judgment
Mania.
Day appear mid-ring, and they brought out the new World's Heavyweight Champion. Damian
their
Priest. As you
belts.
can see there, Mommy and Damian were hoisting their titles up high, and R-Truth right there behind them.
It was the Judgment Day celebration.
It was, and this led to Miz coming out, which set up a 6-man tag, which looked like it was going to be a handicap match. But they, Truth stated multiple times that, they had a partner. You just can't see him. And
That
they
was
really,
so bad.
yeah,
That was funny.
it was very, very heavily, not telecasted, telegraphed. That's the word I was looking for. Very heavily telegraphed, but fun nonetheless. About halfway through the handicap match, John Cena comes down, gets the hot tag. They do Cena's spots together.
15 knuckle shuffle.
Yes, the 15 knuckle shuffle.
I heard that. I was like, what the hell?
That's a lot of shuffling. Somebody was having fun.
A lot, like a fiend.
I'm
was late,
surprised. I'm surprised they kept John Cena's move, the 5-knuckle shuffle, during the PG era, because it's obviously a fucking euphemism for jerking off.
Honestly, nobody knows that. Nobody fucking knows that.
I know. Vince was like,
I didn't
Vince was
even
like,
know
no,
that
he's
until,
shuffling his knuckles and
Vince
hitting
is-
a guy with them. Yeah,
well, for
sounds
many
good.
years I didn't know what that was.
yeah.
We'll put on a T-shirt and everything.
Because they changed it. Was they changed that's when they quit calling it the FU and the SDFU. But yeah, they kept the 5-knuckle shuffle. So
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounds good. Let's keep it.
God
Put
damn
on a
it.
shirt and everything. I am the
Shuffle.
right one.
Like the fat kid from Goonies. Oh, that was the truffle shuffle.
Where is he?
Vince.
Is he here?
But
What did you
yeah,
guys?
so,
What did you guys think of the tag match, though?
Oh, it's
I
good.
mean,
It fit.
yeah, it was one of those kind of like happy audience kind of moments. Like Cena's still hanging around, so it's like let's get him out there, get a little surprise pop on Raw, and it's the night after Mania, so they're going to try to get a couple little surprises. There was one thing where it's like you knew he wasn't going to do a whole hell of a lot, and we talked about that a little bit this on the pre-production meeting. But what you're seeing out of Cena right now is what he has flat out said you're going to get out of him. This is it.
Yeah,
this is what Cena's doing.
A few
from now on.
spots, some big reactions.
I'm going to take a
tag in,
shit
tag
while the
out.
match is. I'm going to take a shit while the match is going on.
No,
then
I
I'm
am
out there-
late.
Yeah, and then I'm going to come out there lighter because of my bald spot and do some high flying moves.
I love how he covered his face.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah,
I think that is faster.
He looks more like Jim Varney every single day.
Oh my God! Or
Don't tell him.
fucking Ernest P.
Ernest,
World.
yeah, every day he looks.
Yeah,
more-
man.
You know
Watch.
what?
They'll
They
do an
should
Ernest
just
movie.
do. Yeah, as I say, they should do an Ernest movie. Bring back
Ernest
that
is
concept.
ripped.
Yeah.
Ernest goes to wrestling camp. Like, I mean, the shit writes itself.
Why can I see that actually happening now? We'll
Yeah.
see it. It's all of a
Quick
sudden.
quick
Hey,
question. I don't mean to jump the subject, but I wanted to bring something up because I don't know if y'all picked up on it. A lot of people actually didn't.
Mhm.
But there was a thing that happened in the building off of television where they I wish I had the fucking video, but I lost it.
Oh,
to
they
me.
played that clip
They
of the woman
played it.
singing, right?
Yeah, they did the
Saw that.
old Bray Wyatt-esque tease in the building.
Jefferson Starship. Yeah.
And then later on in the show, just about the part where you are, Bronson Reed cuts his promo, and there's a glitch. Don't know what it means, don't know what happened, but I'm getting the feeling that this Uncle Howdy return
Yeah.
is being set up. Did you
Yeah.
guys notice that? How you feeling about the Uncle Howdy thing? Is it weird without Bray? Are we really gonna accept it because Bray's gone? How you feeling?
I mean,
I mean, go ahead, Tyler. Sorry. Go ahead. You go
I
ahead.
just, I don't really 100% know how I feel about it. It's one of those things where it's like this is a character that was so heavily tied to someone who's no longer with us in wrestling, and someone who had a lot of big ideas and a lot of big ideas that just sometimes didn't work in the scope of what professional wrestling is. And I'm sure it's going to be done respectfully, but it's just like, also, what else do you do with Bo right now? You don't go back to the old Bo leave thing. Like,
Oh God, no.
No.
there's too much
B team.
Too much, B team. There's too much reality known about
Yeah.
that family now, based on everything that's happened and the documentary that dropped on, the first of the month. I don't know. Like, I really wish I had a better answer to how I feel, but I would have to see how it's done. But like, could be for something else, But like, this does feel Brayish. And I think we've all gotten the impression that we're going to see stuff that they wanted to implement still be used going forward. But I don't know. We'll have to see how it goes. I didn't catch the glitch on that. I'm going to be completely honest. I wasn't really looking at the screen when Bronson was talking. So
the one thing I will say,
understandable, Tyler. Understandable.
The one thing I will say is, if they're gonna do it, let him be Uncle Howdy. Don't go towards like redoing the Bray Wyatt angle. Just stick to the Uncle Howdy. Do something. But I'm in the same boat. It's like, what do you do?
I agree with you, but when I agree with you, I also have to ask the question: what is Uncle Howdy without Bray Wyatt? And to that point, what the fuck is Uncle Howdy at all?
Maybe get
we don't know what the fuck he is anyway. Like, we didn't get to dig it deep enough.
Maybe that's the fun of it.
I honestly wouldn't hate it if he just adopted a lot of the Bray Wyatt things. Some of the, the fight. I don't want it to be so different. It's very clear that there's no way to move forward without absorbing some of it, at least. Maybe the Fireflies, maybe the music, something that invokes Bray Wyatt but doesn't overshadow whatever they want to do with Bo Dallas. It's just so weird because it was meant to be a secondary part, and it's like.
But here's the thing, John. I think a lot more people are going to be for it and really rooting for it because it is Bo, and and it is in some weird way connected to Bray Wyatt, even though he isn't here. I'm sure that he had, because he seemed like that time. Wyndham seemed like the kind of guy that would write down shit or have shit on a computer and have all of these storylines all mapped out for months and months and months. So I'm sure that Bo has that, or so, and I'm just wildly
Max
speculating.
got a point,
but I'm saying I think that they might implement some of Wyndham's storylines posthumously. And people are going to give this a shot because they really want it to work, because they want Bray's legacy to be carried on through the person that was closest to him.
That's a good point. I kind of compare it in my head to the Mark Briscoe, Jay Briscoe situation.
Absolutely.
The biggest difference is, I guess, that Mark and Jay had such a similar, so they shared so many aspects of the character that it was really easy to just go forward with Mark Briscoe as he was, and that alone just invokes the memory of Jay Briscoe. Like, it's just Mark being Mark is like, man, I miss
there was but there was so many iterations of Bray. There was the cult leader Bray. There was the the spooky Bray, and then the Fiend, and then whatever they were doing with this Uncle Howdy thing. But the Briscoe, they've always just been chicken farmers from Delaware. They've always just been guys that are going to go out there and knock your fucking teeth down your throat and win the tag team titles for 13 times, and then and it was completely believable when Jay won the title, because he was just a fucking tough guy. He wasn't a guy that had superpowers or anything. He was just a dude.
Redneck kung fu.
Yeah, so I think, I think people would have been, I know people love Bray, and I'm not talking shit about him because I fucking loved him too. I thought he was brilliant. But if Bray had just stayed that backwoods, like, Fear, Robert De Niro type character that he had showed up with in NXT, and it stayed that guy, I think that people would have been a lot more, like, less frustrated with Bray because he had tried all of this stuff. Because I read stuff online all the time where people are like, "What is he doing? This isn't working." Blah 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 blah.
It wasn't even that it wasn't working. It's just that it wasn't. A lot of the things that got presented when he first debuted didn't get resolved. Like, he created this whole lore, and I'm here for these reasons specifically. And it was like, all right, I can't fucking wait to find out what this Bray Wyatt guy is actually talking about. It's gonna pay off.
Yeah.
It never
And-
did, which is
and then
unfortunate. Like I don't, but I don't want to put that on Bray because it must have been
No,
so hard.
I think a lot of that came down to Vince.
Yeah, 100%.
Because I think there were so many people pulling for Bray and his ideas, and I think there were people that believed in the ideas because he had some wild stuff he wanted to do, and sometimes working these huge stories and trying to figure out the pro wrestling payoff. That was where the problem would kind of come in sometimes. It's like you have these very esoteric, wild tales that you're crafting with very interesting characters with all these just, very unique concepts that you're bringing into professional wrestling. But that has to end with a match. It has to end with a match. And I think sometimes Vince didn't know how to get that connective point between this tale, the outside of the ring magic, basically, and the actual payoff in the match. I think one of the times it worked best was with Cena. That Mania match he had with Cena where they just, time traveled and went through all of time and space. And that was somewhere where it connected properly, where it actually made sense with the story that Bray wanted to tell here. It made sense with the payoff in the match.
He got hit with a pair of steel stairs thrown out of the ring and hit Bray directly in the face and reset the timeline.
Oh God, Angel Flores brings up a good point and a horrible memory at the same time. Oh shit! The red blaze Hell in a Cell with the lighting and all that. Yeah.
Where Seth got disqualified for kicking too much ass.
Oh fuck! I'm gonna kill him with the Harley Quinn mallet.
Yeah.
Anyway, Roxanne is here.
Yes.
Hey.
Woo! Indi Hartwell and my girl from NXT Women's Champion Roxan Perez coming up. I would again, please just punch to see Perez get a little bit of shine here on the main roster tonight. And of course, again, obvious ending. She's going to run Indi Hartwell over. It's not like they've really put a lot of steam behind Hartwell herself, especially as a singles competitor. And again, just can further push to the dark side tumble of Candice LeRae. But I think, real quick match, 3 minutes, but Perez looks solid here. Got a little bit of a pop from the crowd, which again, if you're going to pull up NXT wrestlers and you want the home audience that may not watch NXT to understand that these people are very talented and are actually a big deal, that's the audience you drop them in front of, because the people in that arena are going to pop for them because they actually fucking know who they are.
I like the way that they tied in that Roxanne got kayfabe injured and had to give up her title, and then she got cleared, and they had a ladder match, and then Indi won the title. And when Roxanne grabbed her by the hair tonight, she was like, "You weren't worthy of my title," and then just punched her in the face. I think calling back to something like that is really smart in a match, because it ties like a through line, it just connects, and you're like, "Oh, this is a random ass match," and it's like, "No, it's really not, dude. No, it's not."
If you know,
yeah.
Well, it's again, long-term storytelling is, I think, going to be a hallmark of the Leveckian era of professional wrestling.
That needs
See,
to be a
Matt,
t-shirt.
I had to work it in again. I had to work it in there.
They mentioned Leveckian is our word. We will use it in reference to this wrestling era for the rest of time. But they mentioned it on fucking commentary, so I don't want to hear anybody asking that question, because it's the same damn thing in the other company where it's like, what's going on? They mentioned it on fucking commentary. Just listen, it's on TV.
Yeah.
They did the same thing tonight. They mentioned the whole story. They explained why Roxanne was an asshole and why she was specifically mad at Indi Hartwell tonight. And I thought it worked really well. This is a great showcase for both champions, both her and Ilja. Because I had gotten a little nervous feeling when they both came up as champion, because sometimes they do that false call-up shit, and they come up and they have whether it's a good or bad match, and you just never see them again. And I was like, fuck, they did it for the pop. But it seems like they're soft launching both of them onto the main roster, because Ilja had his performance. He's in the draft. I assume Roxanne is also going to be in the draft. That was a really good moment.
So do you think they're going to I think Carmelo's going to be in it too. They might announce that on Friday. I think he might have a match
SmackDown
on
after
Friday.
Mania.
I can see it.
But here's the thing. Do you put Trick Williams in the draft, or do you strap him up and have him
No.
have like a 6-month title reign or something?
Trick Williams is over. Trick Williams is great. Trick Williams needs some time in NXT, just a little bit more.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
Yeah.
more. That's the
He's good,
that's,
though.
that's
He's
maybe.
damn good. He's damn good.
Yeah, he is good.
yeah. And I think if you bring him up too early, you fuck it up. So definitely let it cook, let it season a little bit. You know what I mean?
I mean,
Well,
that crowd in
and-
Miami, that crowd in Miami where he came out and saved Carmelo Hayes, started screaming, "Whoop that trick!" like loud. Like I was seeing like Twitter videos of people in the arena, and it was
Just
loud.
screaming.
It didn't come off. It didn't come off on TV as loud as it was in the arena, but like that crew immediately knew who he was.
I just think that. Oh no, you go ahead, Tyler. My bad.
I was gonna say I think we're maybe in a safer area too with call-ups, because before sometimes just the look would get Vince to be like, "Oh, I want him on the main roster. Damn it, bring him up." And it's like you don't have jack or shit for the guy, and then his career is fucked for it. I don't think Hunter's going to bring somebody up, especially because like his love for that brand is so much heavier than Vince's ever was. Vince didn't give a fucking shit about NXT. He made NXT to keep fucking Hunter busy. Like,
I think that Triple H has respect for Shawn Michaels, where if he calls down and says, "Hey man, I want this guy," and he's like, "No, let me cook a little bit more," and Hunter's like, "All right, dude."
Or if it's a situation of like, "Hey, they're ready," but Hunter's like, "Look, I don't have a spot yet. I don't have a story for him yet.
Roxanne.
Let me get something ready for him, and then we'll do it. So let's put it off for a few more months, but then we'll bring him up." So I think that like we're not going to see super heavily bungled NXT call-ups anymore.
No carrying crosses in bondage anymore, huh?
It's fun to be able to hope, though. It's good to be able to feel be like, okay.
I'm ready to be
I'm being very cautious because I'm very excited for WWE. Like I said on the WrestleMania stream last night, for the first time in like 12 years, I'm fucking excited for WWE. But I'm also in the back of my head, I'm like, oh, I might be disappointed. So let's tamper this down a little bit. So instead of being at a 10 like I was last night, kind of slept on it, and I'm like, all right, let me bring this down to like a 7.5, so I'm not disappointed when they eventually bungle it. Yeah, just in case.
All right, that feeling oozy, fellas.
A little
bit.
So
hey, Kadeja.
little crossing back there, and we did too. Real quick backstage, we also had after that, before Sami came out for his promo, we had Roxan Perez walk by Natty, setting up for a match between them tomorrow night on NXT. So looking forward to that. Always fun to see Natty down there. But we had Sami Zayn make his way to the ring and talk about making history, stopping Gunther's title reign. And of course, this summoned the rest of Imperium.
We can't see it now.
Conjured them.
Just poof, there they are. No Gunther tonight, understandably so. Also worth mentioning, we had no Seth Rollins on the show tonight either. So
no
champions licking the wounds elsewhere, which makes sense.
Got a bit of a news update on that, I guess. Ooh. I haven't really posted it yet.
Juicy, let's
go.
Let's go.
Live
during the
news,
show.
Folks.
Breaking news.
It came out during the show. Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, posted in his daily update that Seth Rollins is going to be taking some time off. Looking to be up to 4 weeks about. The guy, you kind of predicted that, Tyler, where it's like Rollins is going to need the time.
He does.
He does deserve it.
Up. Honestly, like I'd like to see him and Becky both just like take some time off, hang out with the kid, like recoup. Becky's got her book, maybe got a book tour anyway to do. So like, let's do that for a little bit. Like,
take a little nap.
He's still there right now, isn't he? He's still in the ring.
They just rolled him in the canvas.
No, they didn't. They just left him right.
Oh my god, that fucking killed me.
Old tuxedo mask there. But yeah, so the Imperium comes out, and right as Sammy's getting ready to thank Chad Gable, he was building up to thanking Chad Gable, and then here comes Imperium, and they make their way to the ring, and of course this leads to a tag match with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable taking on Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci. Gentlemen, what did you think of this tag match tonight?
Go ahead, Caesar.
I'm trying to think of words to use right now, so I'll let you go first. I'm trying to think.
All right. Well, you know what? I think it was that match that they put in the like the 3/4 of the way through the show to kill maybe 20, 25 minutes. They go do a commercial break, picture in picture. But let me tell you something, man. I've been watching Ludwig Kaiser since he was Mata Bartel in WXW, when he was the Shotgun Champion, and they were doing Ring Conf in WXW. And I'm just a huge fan of him, man. Like his wrestling ability is like off the charts. And I know we're talking very highly about WWE, and I don't want to bring the tempo down or anything, but I think if they really let him off the chain, he could actually be like a really good mid-card intercontinental singles competitor. He has the tone, he has the promo ability, he has the athletic ability, and I get it. He's one of Gunther's lackeys, that's always going to get beat up and thrown out of the ring by whoever, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton or whoever. But man, I love watching Ludwig Kaiser wrestle, man. I like I said, I've seen singles matches with him in WXW versus Ilja and Gunther and David Starr and JD McDonough, and I'm just a huge fan, man. So even if they have a 10-15 minute match in the middle of the show, it's always a pleasure for me specifically to watch Ludwig Kaiser wrestle. I just fucking love him.
See, I mean, the draft is happening soon, so we can't ask it now. Or we can ask it now, but not sure which side it's going to be on. Could we see those guys being future tag champs, either this year or next year, for example?
With the tag titles being split up, I could definitely see it. I don't think that Imperium is really a undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match. But now that they're broken up, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love R-Truth, but if you have a title on R-Truth, a guy that's basically a goof wrestler, a great wrestler, but a goof wrestler,
and a comedy?
Positioned as a comedy wrestler, you can definitely put the titles on two guys, that's motto is the ring is sacred.
I'd be fully
serious.
for it.
Dude, I'd be absolutely for
Dude.
it. I mean, you got the SmackDown tag titles on two goofs right now. I mean, two good wrestling goofs, but goofs. Yeah.
Imagine the Creeds and Imperium.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I do think the tag belts being on Awesome Truth, that I think this was more about getting R-Truth that big WrestleMania moment, which he absolutely deserves. Like we say that a lot. Everybody loves R-Truth.
Yeah,
like I've never heard a wrestling fan say something bad about him. Everyone finds him entertaining. Like, I'm sure there are people that don't find that comedy as their cup of tea, but I enjoy R-Truth,
It's
but I don't think I say he's a national treasure. But
he got a hot tag in a ladder match.
Yeah,
and the Rumble. And the Rumble. It was legal.
He had
the rope.
And he brought a ladder into the Royal Rumble thinking it was the Money in the Bank ladder match. Like, who doesn't think that's funny?
Right? It's just so good, but I don't think they're going to have the belts for that long, though. And part of that is just, well, I again love R-Truth. Yeah. We talked about this a little bit over the weekend as well, but I want for tag team wrestling to be taken seriously, and this to me makes me worry that Hunter is going to value goofy stories with the tag titles over legitimate tag team wrestling. But we'll see. Maybe, this was just kind of a way look, we're going to do some transitional fun shit to get the belts back apart so we can have it set on SmackDown, set on Raw. But, again, that's kind of a time will tell sort of thing.
I honestly thought that they were going to do, I thought they were going to do JD McDonough and Finn Balor versus the Awesome Truth tonight and have Judgment Day take the titles. I thought they were going to pull a Zack Ryder after he won the ladder match and then have him lose to The Miz 16 hours. I honestly thought that they were going to do that. And you know what? I would have been perfectly fine with that if that had happened.
Yeah, again, because it's the moment still exists, for Truth. Like I said, that's what that was about for him, was getting that. But it won't be long. I could see the change happening as quickly as Backlash, really.
Who do you put him on, though? That's the question.
Well, I mean,
anybody else? No,
an actual tag team.
DIY's right there.
The Miz should not be a face ever. He's not a face. The Miz should
He's a
never
short
be a
man.
fighter.
Just have him maybe. I don't. Yeah, I mean,
You
Turn
have
on
him turn on
Truth.
Truth, they're going to start booing him again. Like, I mean, especially
Oh
with the guy
God,
like
is that
Truth,
what you
know?
want to see? A Miz
It's
versus
not what I
R
no,
Truth
no,
No, it's not
match?
what I
not
want
what I
to
want to
see.
see. It's I don't like the Miz as a face. They tried it when they were trying to make him Ric Flair's successor, and it didn't work. And then they tried it a couple of years ago against Dolph Ziggler, and I mean not Dolph Ziggler. Who they do it against? Oh, with Shane McMahon. Then
What
they
do
had
you
Shane
mean,
McMahon
Mac?
turn on him. You know,
Miz was passed down the figure 4 leg lock from the legendary Ric Flair. Don't you remember, Mac? The legendary figure 4 leg lock now belongs to the Miz. How
I
could you
wanted to
say
take
it
my
didn't
headphones
work?
off and throw them across the room.
Ask Jay Lethal how that Ric Flair rub goes too. I mean,
Oh, that TNA match where he made
Maybe-
Ric Flair tap out.
What do you
Yeah.
mean you didn't like Fortune 4?
Oh,
AJ Styles with blonde tips and earrings? Come on, man. Come
Dude,
on.
John, let me tell you something. Not to divert too far,
I
but I
hear
got
you.
the Samsung channel that has 1164 has the TNA channel, and they show these 100 top moments in TNA history, but except they're not one. They're the same moment over. It's either Sting debuting, Jay Lethal beating Ric Flair, or Gail Kim becoming the first TNA champion. Like those are the bad years, man. You know.
Okay, that would be something right to that idea.
Yeah, maybe that Creed Brothers doing open
I dig
challenge
that.
week. I could get behind
Yeah,
that.
I can get behind that too.
Yeah.
I just don't. Where does this fucking go, man? I just see the Miz just turning on our Truth again.
Let's just say it simply. Tyler's idea. Backlash. That's it.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
get the belt
Don't
on.
know who was.
Oh,
Who
Sheamus.
Who was that?
Yeah, we had that.
Who's
We'll
that
talk about
guy?
that real quick. We had the that Sheamus promo package tonight, so Sheamus is on his way back.
Listen,
which is-
fella.
in the near future.
Which is great news.
Why does
About
why does his name look like a giant name wiener? It's really weird. Really weird placement we went with there.
This is my shame.
This is a shamey.
This is the adult, mature, constructive critique that you'll get on a Dirt Sheet Radio show at any given time.
The
Yeah,
Name
well, I guess-
wiener. Look at the
Shame
name wiener.
Sheamus the name wiener.
Hashtag.
It's a shameful
Hashtag-
thing. Lobster head.
Yeah.
It's the shamey. Remember?
Too many limes. Too many limes. But
Wow.
we had a backstage segment with my personal favorite GM of all time now, Adam Pearce, hanging out with Nick Aldis and Ava. So it was good to
She
see all three of them
spoke.
together. And she's getting better. We talked about this last week on NXT. I'll probably be talking about this tomorrow night as well because I'm sure she'll be in some segments. But it looks like they finally got her that fucking acting coach. So she came across pretty well here. But my line of the night, they're just chatting about the upcoming draft and how they're potentially going to be looking to poach talent from one another. Ava acting like they're actually going to fucking draft people down to NXT. But you hear Chelsea Green approach immediately. Adam Pearce. Anybody want to make a trade? Which I love the inter-work relationship between Chelsea Green and abused middle manager Adam Pearce. Fantastic.
No drinking this time.
No, he's handling it well. He had a good weekend. Overall.
He's already hammered.
Yeah, he's constantly just poor Adam.
Has a Mickey in his jacket.
Right.
Hmm.
But this led set for a match with Chelsea Green because Chelsea was complaining that she wasn't on the
You mean
Mania.
Chelsea Green?
Chelsea
I
Green.
can't do it.
But this led to Chelsea Green getting run over by Jade Cargill in about 30
Steamrolled.
seconds.
Yeah, that was just the female rosters
Goldberg?
on notice.
Yeah.
Not gonna
Well,
lie.
I mean,
I think it's a little lame that we're running the same ass storyline that AEW did with Jade. She
Oh,
just
please
comes
don't.
in, she's doing squashes. I'm like,
Yep.
fuck. I totally wanted to see I wanted to see her new leaf. I wanted to see a new a new layer. I guess we have to wait.
Versus Rhea.
Yeah,
It's coming. It'll come. I'm sure it'll come. But
yeah.
Yeah.
But
what
yeah.
What do we have? What do we have after this? I don't even remember like the lineup or anything.
That was
Oh, yeah,
actually
the final
it,
match.
the main
Oh, yeah,
event.
that's it.
So,
Right, yeah.
so the Raw after Mania, the last match we're talking about tonight is the Jade Cargill Chelsea Green match, which I was I was a little bummed that it was Jade Cargill taking on Chelsea Green because, like, I feel that Chelsea's been somebody that Chelsea could maybe not get run over by in 30 seconds.
NXT superstar.
Like, yeah, I was thinking maybe more of an NXT thing, but like, I like Chelsea Green a lot, and you know, it's cool. Like, this is kind of her spot, but like, it's kind of she's been defined down into this. You're just going to like complain and then get run over. Where's Piper Niven?
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good question. I don't know. I don't think she's injured, but I also wouldn't be surprised because they don't always reveal that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
I think we did skip the part about Dom and Rhea backstage, didn't we?
Oh, that's
dude,
right.
She took that fucking chair off.
Yeah,
Do you have a shot of that, or
she got crying? Yeah, I do.
Okay.
1 second. Let's see it right here.
I was sitting here like, did anyone mention that? I couldn't think.
No,
of
we
it.
didn't. Yeah, good.
No, that's really
good
funny.
call
Can
out.
we also talk? Can we also talk?
Bonk.
Can we also talk about the thing that really popped me during this show? The one thing that stuck out more, well, not more than anything, because the action was pretty damn good. But when Dom pushed that camera and then it just took
that was actually really cool.
It took a Goodfellas from outside of the club, one shot into the arena. Dude, that was so fucking good, dude.
We've been starved. We've been, as wrestling fans, we've been starved because it literally is exciting. And no, I was excited too, but I noticed while I was excited, I was like, this is so bare minimum.
Different.
Like, and we're so fucking excited because we had so
like,
nothing. Like, we had nothing. It was
dude.
nothing. It was the same exact
70
style
camera shots
for 20 years, 30, 40 years.
We had 18 camera shots of Seth Rollins putting a chair in Drew McIntyre's back, 20 times. We had 30 different angles of that because we had fucking Kevin fucking Big Tooth done.
Well, they still like that weeble wobble zoom in, zoom out shit.
I mean, I know, but like, dude, but you're tempering it with shots like that. It's like, all right, I can do the zoom in, zoom out, 5 different camera angles for one shot thing, as long as you keep giving me that one long shot into the arena. It's compromise. It's compromise,
We're willing to, deal a little bit here.
Listen, the budget's changing.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all of it, though. That's your episode of Raw.
We can roll into our jobbers of the night tonight. I'm going to go with Nakamura tonight. For reasons that I've chosen him several times over the past couple months. He's just kind of there to lose, and I feel a certain way about it because I think Nakamura is, he's I think moving into that last stage of his like full-time career, but I think he's much more valuable than that, and just better than this. When you see him come out, he's not going to fucking win. And like I said, Ilja should have won that match, but like at least make it more competitive than 4 minutes. I mean,
10,
you're talking about Nakamura as a, not just a former NXT champion, which they brought up, but he's a former world champion on the main roster. Like he's been a champion every company he's worked. He's been a champion everywhere in the world. Yeah. And he's getting beat in 4 minutes by a developmental brand champion, which again, I'm talking about that from a kayfabe standpoint, but like obviously Dragunov is incredible, but like I don't know, I just don't like the way that Nakamura's been treated lately, and I hope that they have maybe something for him in the future that'll be bigger than just losing in 5 minutes on Raw. I mean, his backstage promos have been better. I love that stuff, but so sadly, Raw after Mania, Nakamura, my jobber of the night.
He's a jobber out of spite because Okada didn't sign. Unfortunately.
There you go.
Yeah.
Caesar.
I'm just going to lose now. Send me out there to lose.
Honestly, the best one, I think Tyler said it earlier, is the one who got run over completely. Chelsea Green comes out, did her thing, got steamrolled. Here's your check. Go. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I can really say. I feel bad for her because she's from my area too.
They're in Canada. They're in Canada next week. You never know. Maybe she'll stab Jade Cargill or something.
I can see that. I can open up my what? Hold on. What?
What else is she gonna do? She's not gonna be able to fucking beat her.
Apologize.
He's gonna have to do something.
Apologize.
That's what I would do if I
Over with the
You
Zamboni.
would stab Jade Cargill. Like
What
New
happened?
Jack, baby. Oh,
I'm not fighting her. She's
Wait,
gonna
where's
whip my ass.
Yeah, in the T-Dot. Is that where it is? No.
No,
Quebec.
Montreal.
Oh, Montreal. Oh boy.
Yeah, Sami Zayn
Yep.
defending his Intercontinental Championship against Chad
Cool.
Gable next
Shot-
week as
shot
well.
Gable.
Before the show closes, do you guys see Chad losing and turning heel? You see him losing and getting
he
a
made
hug?
a face. He made it.
He's
going
gonna
to
turn heel.
Tonight. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I was going to give my
no,
jobber
go
of the
ahead.
night.
Yeah.
No, wait. Before you give your job of the night, you're
Okay,
right. He
all
did make a face, but he made a face like he just wanted to make love with the title, and I'm not sure what that means.
Yeah.
I'm
Cue up
just
Karis
not
Whisper.
sure. Okay, now Mac, you go ahead.
All right. My jobber of the night is Rock the Dwayne Johnson. He is my jobber of the night.
Rock the
Number-
Johnson wing, you say?
Rock
He
the
is
Dwayne.
my jobber of the night because he came out, he said absolutely nothing. He praised Cody, a guy that he lacerated a couple of weeks ago, rubbed his belt, rubbed the blood on the belt, and then came out with his I need a belt too, mommy strap. And then asked Cody, Can I hold your title? I would
Maybe
love
the
to hold your
shifts at
title.
the
Oh, only
Egyptian-
if I can hold your title, that means absolutely nothing. And then he hands him Roman's balls, and says, "Oh, you broke my
secret
heart."
item. Secret
Yeah.
item.
And it's like
It's a ticket to Black Adam.
the last.
Wow, this is
Yeah.
worthless.
Yeah,
Hold on, it's
But-
you that broke my heart.
yeah.
Don't go
But
breaking my
And,
heart.
and the thing is about The Rock too is like he was so reserved. Like I know he's leaving, but he could have came out and just been more enthusiastic, savage, and been like, I have to go away for a while because I'm going back to Hollywood to make a movie. So you hold on to that belt because when I come back, The Rock is
And his
going to whip
balls.
that candy ass,
And his balls. Don't forget that.
But yeah, I know. Yeah. And then he just stood there and was just like, yeah, so I'm here to give, I'm here to give you your flowers. And can I can I hold your belt? Like
I really-
hold the belt.
I really wanted Cody to just be like, "Oh, Roman wouldn't let you touch it, huh?"
Woo!
Like I really expected like some sort of like fire like back at him, but like like
Dude, it
all,
was so
all that
mundane.
fire was gone.
He's like,
so
I'm
mundane.
the people's champ, not
The
you.
crowd chanted, "This is awkward."
Yeah, and he did. And the one thing that I did like was, okay, you beat Roman, but guess who beat you the night before? So that kind of implied a title match coming up. But dude, if you're gonna make me want to watch The Rock, which I already don't want to do ever,
Especially now.
at least come out and like ham it up. Be The Rock. Make me sit there and go, oh shit,
Okay.
well, I guess this is happening soon. And I was
agree.
just like, wow, that was a commercial-free hour for absolutely dog shit.
Mm-hmm.
So Rock's my jobber of the night, and he can
Dwayne
go
the
make
Johnson
whatever
Rock?
straight. Yeah, he can go
Dwayne the
make straight whatever straight to Amazon Prime
make
movie that
straight.
he's going to make. So
He's gonna make.
Actually, I'm gonna give that movie a shot too. It's his first attempt at drama in a long time. It's like
I thought
some
you were gonna say acting.
walking tall shit. Yeah,
Maybe
no,
he
his
was
first. I mean,
practicing
his
earlier.
first attempt at acting in a long time. that's I meant that.
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
meant. But
Trying to
yeah,
be subtle.
no, just
But
didn't
I
want
gave
to
the
say
show an
just in
8.
case get to
I
interview
gave
him
the show an
someday.
8. I liked it.
Right? Don's like, you didn't see that video, did you? No? Cool.
There you go.
Megastar!
Megastar, Caesar.
What
Caesar.
am I getting
Who,
put on? Okay, fine.
who was your Megastar of the night?
I'd say stars.
Oh.
Ilja and Roxanne looked awesome tonight. Both of them. That's like
The babies.
whether you're,
So the babies.
yeah, they did both awesome in their matches. Even if they were like short little matches, they still did good. I mean,
Yeah.
that's who knows. See how they do in a few months, few weeks after the draft.
Big things for both of them. Definitely big
Oh, yeah.
things for both of them.
I was excited to see Roxanne on the main.
Mm.
Mac.
So I'm going to go with the obvious choice, but I'm also going to go with an honorable mention. I'm going to go with Cody because I really got emotional when they did that video. Like,
oh hell yeah!
that video, that you just don't. You're just not a human if you just don't go like, like
I'm a
No,
fucking
no,
alien.
You're a creature of some weird sorts.
I
Yeah.
can't. I mean, it's gonna be a hot take, but I've seen Cody do this enough that it doesn't affect me anymore. It's his go-to trick. I can't be moved
Offended.
by it. I just can't. It doesn't move me anymore. Cody with the tears and oh god, every fucking thing moves me.
Can I
get
give
it.
you my honorable
I watch
mention, though?
movies. I'm an empath.
My
Is
honorable
honorable.
mention went to Liv Morgan for that amazing chair shot,
Oh, that was
unprotected to the head of. Put up there it is. Yeah, because now
6
you know
months
where.
suspension.
Yeah, now you know where they're going with the next women's feud, and I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
In a similar turn, Mac, I also my first inclination was to go with Cody tonight. I feel like I picked Cody as Megastar a lot over the past couple months, but I mean, he just knocks it out of the park week after week. It's very clear why WWE wants to go with him as the main central babyface. He's done what they wanted John Cena to do, but John Cena was never able actually to accomplish. I will say this, we watched what happened with Cody in AEW, and they're walking close to that line with the amount of praise they're letting him have on a week-to-week basis. And I don't think they're in super big danger of the audience turning on him, but it's something that they need to remain cognizant of going forward.
Yeah, very much so.
Because
Yeah.
like they kept him hot that whole year. There was no even like glance at the audience turning at him or turning on him, but they do need to keep that in the back of their heads. Just again, we're not there. We're not close to that happening, but there's a line where people are only going to want it shoved towards them too much. But people love Cody, and I think they're willing to accept this amount of praise right now, especially given the circumstances under which he beat Roman and finally vanquished the bloodline and all that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I was going to say there, with him winning the title, he needs to not live up to Roman's reign. Pardon the pun. But,
Don't do that again.
Cancelled.
They are definitely need to be cognizant that they're behind the 8 ball when it comes to Cody, because the crowd is unpredictable. They can turn on you in a dime, and especially like I just said, coming off of a 1,316 day title reign, they need to really do something with Cody to make him not go stale, because I feel like the AEW crowd really turned on Cody because he got stale in the whole Homelander gimmick and everything. But like you said, Tyler, earlier, and you made a good point, they did everything in their power to keep him hot after WrestleMania 39, and they need to conjure that same energy, but with him with the belt this time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what it is? It's adversity. Adversity makes people cheer for an underdog. When you go, the chase is over. You finish the story, quote unquote, as he likes to say. It's hard to create new challenges for him. He becomes the challenge. And then when you become the challenge, nobody gives a fuck about the challenge. You're the bad guy. I mean, as cool as you might be.
Well, he beat Thanos.
Basically.
He beat Thanos. And what's happened to the Marvel Cinematic Universe since Endgame?
Yeah.
They had an edict from an asshole who decided to split it all up into TV shows and movies more than they can control. And now they're trying to get it back together, but the guy was a real asshole. Basically a racist.
Oh.
I can talk about this for 40 minutes. But you mentioned the thing about Cody and the crowd potentially turning on him, and that's a good point that I wanted to bring up if I had got an opportunity to talk as much as I wanted to earlier. Fucking Cody in AEW, the thing that killed him was he wasn't stuck. I will not argue that he didn't want to turn, because in his mind he was doing the John Cena thing. He was being the heel by not turning and not giving the fans what they wanted. So I think he's got the mind, but it didn't work in AEW. He wasn't. The crowd didn't want that shit. They wanted to see Anakin become Darth Vader. He didn't want to do it. He really loves to be a babyface. And to CJ's question, if they turn on him, will Cody turn heel? If it was up to him, no. But since it's not, let's hope that there are some smarter people in charge.
Right.
Well, I think Cody. I think Cody had a lot more influence with Tony in AEW, and
it's a little more than that.
Well, pretty much he had the run of the place in AEW.
A little less than that.
He was just there.
That's a middle. That's a middle ground, and Cody was there.
But listen, what I'm really trying to say is that it was a company where he had a lot of say, and could influence his character. In WWE, this is a machine. It's not AEW. So if Triple H says you're turning heel, motherfucker, you're turning heel.
And it would have been the best move, man. That heel turn in AEW would have been some sick shit. I was waiting for it. It made the most sense, but this was the best move for his career. Possibly one of the best wrestling career moves ever made in history. Like, I've never seen something like this, and I'm really eager to see it continue. But I will end the show here to drop some fucking not some plugs, but first some thanks. Just want to thank everyone, all of you who joined us all week long. It was a long week, wall to wall WrestleMania coverage as best as we could. And I feel we accomplished that. I feel like we pulled it off as best we could, and there's still room for improvement. And I feel next year is going to be even bigger than this year, and it's just going to keep on growing. And so thank you, the tens of thousands who watched our streams live, making them the most successful streams. This stream right here is the most fucking viewed live Raw stream we've ever had. So thank you all. Thank you, all of you, man. Thank you, hosts. Thank you, fucking staff, admin. Thank me. I was doing shit too. Thank the fucking fans. Thank everyone, man.
Well,
this is awesome.
John, like you're here every day. Like
No. I thanked myself so you guys wouldn't have to do that.
No. This is your thank you Hunter moment. All right.
Yeah.
Like I made a quip earlier that, like, today for me personally was my fourth stream in 3 days. But dude, you've been here for every single one of these, even if you were on air, running everything backstage. So, like, just for everybody home watching this shit doesn't happen without that fella right there. So this has been a hell of a weekend. You know, I say this a lot, but I'm just grateful for the opportunity to get to be here talking about professional wrestling with the most fun and engaging and entertaining group of people the IWC has ever created. So it's great.
Thank you, man. Thank you, John, guys, for that. Thank you
John,
for being you guys.
I've always told you, John, this is your baby. You recruited us because you liked all the stuff that we did, and I always just tried to bring the energy of my Instagram and the dedication that I put into my Instagram and bring it to Dirt Sheet Radio and just try to help you grow this into what you knew that you could make it into when you had 100 followers on Facebook, and now we're up to like 133,000. So this is all you, dude. You started this, you manifested it, and you made it a reality. So we love you and congratulations, buddy.
Thank you very much. I'm fucking touched. I'm gonna finish the plugs, I guess, so that we can let you guys say goodbye. Definitely touch visit the Dirt Sheet Radio comic book website. Comic book.
He got more emotional than he got over Cody.
/Dirt Sheet Radio. Visit us, man. We're there's always the possibility that Mark Zuckerberg wakes up tomorrow and his AI is mad at me because we described the wrestling match wrong, and then the Facebook goes down, and that's not a worry anymore. Visit us at comicbookclick.com/Dirt Sheet Radio. We exist forever.
Yeah.
Once again, the Delphin Pod shows are available everywhere Delphin Pod or everywhere any fucking podcasts are available. If you're a podcast listener, check out the Delphin Pod podcast. I'm sure they have an episode about something you're interested in. It's all about cinema, pop culture, Marvel, Star Wars, movies, all that good shit. And right in the center of it, the cream filling, so to speak, Dirt Sheet Radio, the one wrestling podcast on the Delphin Pod Network. Check us out. We're on there everywhere audio is available. Monk.com Promo code DSR10 for all you aromatherapy loving motherfuckers. And finally, catch the Major Issue Show every single Thursday over on Comic Book Click. There they cover all types of superhero content, television shows, comic books, movies, all that good shit.
Such good.
Oh, and shop
Good
DSR on our Shopify store. That's the
Yeah.
damn jam.
Wear our
So-
logo.
I'm gonna let you guys creamy.
Creamy.
Is that Greg?
Hey.
That's great.
Yeah, that was Greg.
That's Greg.
Just
Creamy.
super
So
say
I'm gonna
one
get out
word.
the way. I'm gonna let you guys say goodbye.
All right,
right.
Mac, real quick, man, before we pop off here, tell all the wonderful folks that have tuned in tonight and watched us on delay, where can they find you and where can they see you again?
So
Your
you
exact
can
address.
Oh, I tell you guys every week, do not give out your actual physical address.
Oh man.
My
Someone's gonna see it
address
eventually.
is 123 Fake Street.
If you don't
For all you
want,
Simpsons
if
fans.
you don't want fan mail that goes boom, I would not give out my
Yeah,
address.
I know.
So
yeah.
123 Fake Street, yeah.
Yeah. No, you can find me at Curbside Hero on Instagram. That's where I do all my stuff. I'm not really active on Twitter too much. I just kind of go there to find news. I follow all, PW Insider, Fightful, and all of those good guys. Old
Dirt
Man
Sheet
Meltzer
Radio.
and shit. Dirt Sheet Radio,
Ah!
absolutely.
We know
But
them.
yeah, you guys can catch me this Wednesday after AEW Dynamite because I'm on vacation this week. I work nights, so
You're
this
hanging
is
out with us
my
in
one.
Dynamite?
So this is my once every 6 month
Spoiler.
week where I can come on.
3
You'll
months.
probably see me on Friday on the SmackDown show, and then I
Woo!
have to go back to being an adult at work. So two more
What?
shows. I know.
Being a what?
Being I think it's
Adult.
yeah, it's adult.
Adult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Never
yeah,
heard of
so A Dynamite, the regular podcast, the one that's put out on Apple, you catch me on Wednesday, and post SmackDown on Friday, and then you won't see me again until September. So
Lame.
All right.
I mean,
Hey, well, we
Tyler?
look forward to it, though. All right, folks, as always, I am the Pro Wrestling Hipster. I usually plug the @PW Hipster, on Instagram and Twitter, but I really don't do a lot over there. You're mostly going to see me, obviously, here on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, breaking down NXT as well. But otherwise, you're going to see me on Facebook for the most part. So the Pro Wrestling Hipster over on Facebook. Always trying to have fun making memes, and as John said earlier with the website, I've got some written content coming down the pike here. The putting some words to pages.
they're all blank.
No, they are not all blank. There's a lot of
He
blanks
just
up
bought
here.
the stack for the stream.
This is it's just a fucking prop, guys. But no, this is my notebook over here. But yeah, so I've got some ideas, got some Magnificent 7 articles I'm doing. I'm also working on a review of Box Brown's Andre the Giant comic graphic novel that came out, probably 10 years ago now. But yeah, so a lot of fun stuff coming down the pike. And like I said, every fucking Monday night and Tuesday night, pay-per-views here talking wrestling with, like I said, the greatest folks that I've ever gotten to talk about wrestling with. But yeah, so I'll be back tomorrow night for NXT, which I'm so looking forward to, especially after seeing some of the folks from there get some shine tonight. But Caesar, where are you going to be at next, brother?
Well, my exact location is
No.
I'm in Canada. I'm safe. No one knows about us. We have one road. No, as
That's
always,
not
guys.
true.
Watch South Park. As always, guys, every Monday I'm sitting down with Tyler
Hello,
and
people.
whomever can join us. As always, thank you to Mac for hanging out with us for the past, holy moly, hour and a half.
yeah, man.
And then, of course, I am on Wednesday, again, joining Mac. He'll be joining us. And, of course, Nick and whomever else we get for the show. Sitting down, discussing wrestling with these guys. As always, having fun. I am at NoobTube on social media. There are way too many platforms to discuss. So I'm going to say I'll see you guys on the important ones like Facebook and Instagram. And I'm not calling it X, so I'll call it Twitter. And hopefully we'll see you guys tomorrow, tonight, or next week, I should say. Tomorrow on NXT, Wednesday on Dynamite, and so forth.
Yeah, Dirt Sheet Radio rewinds every single night of the week. We'll see you guys. Look at it is a kaleidoscope of wrestling coverage. Like I said, bringing up to the minute coverage, analysis as it happens is what we do here, guys. But hey, big thanks to everyone all week long.
I'm going to be in that
night.
chat tomorrow, Tyler. You better do good.
Yeah.
I'll do my best. Hey, have a good night, everybody.
Later.